Well, as we head towards our nation's 250th birthday, we reflect on the moments that built our country brick by brick. It starts with three simple words: we the people. It's a new monthly segment that highlights America's best and brightest, leading up to the 250th birthday of our freedom. Today, we take you back to the Civil War and remember one of the most famous United States military leaders in history. And while he was controversial in many ways, here in central Louisiana, his legacy will be remembered in part as a key leader in higher education. Before the Union declared victory over the Confederate States in the Civil War, William Tecumseh Sherman became a leader in Louisiana's higher education system. After graduating from West Point in 1840, Alexandria historian Michael Wynn says Sherman ended up unemployed because there wasn't a need for military officers, paving the way for his legacy in central Louisiana.
So he eventually became literally the head of what would become LSU, the Louisiana State Seminary for Military Learning, which was built in 1859 in the piney woods of Pineville. So he was basically a principal over these very unruly cadets, as they call them, students, varying between 16 and 19 years old.
Sherman helped bring the seminary to life, creating the school's curriculum, hiring professors, and writing the rules. Living in a two-story brick house a short distance from the school, Sherman had a hard time running the seminary for the year and a half he was there.
And then the war was declared, and he had to make a choice. Does he go north or does he go south?
Sherman chose to fight for the Union, a larger army, better resources, and a brother, then U.S. Senator John Sherman, who helped Sherman secure a spot in the U.S. Army. As the war waged on, former President Ulysses S. Grant, who was a commander in the Army at the time, authorized Sherman to take control of Confederate states Georgia and South Carolina.
And that's when he began the much-hated scorched earth policy. He didn't actually have as many battles as he did in destroying everything in his path. And he's often remembered for that. Not only hated by the South for that, but also hated by some people in the North. But he is considered, for what he did, the first modern United States general, because he knew to win the war, and to win the war quickly, you had to pull all stops and do whatever you needed to do.
Following the war, Sherman was looking to potentially be a political or business type figure, but Grant would later appoint Sherman as the top general in the U.S. Army.
Sherman in central Louisiana had an unusual relationship. He was hated by the South, but actually while he was here stationed as seminary head, he had a great relationship with the central Louisiana community. He was actually beloved by many people.
And after retiring in 1883, Sherman lived out his life until his death in 1891.
Sherman is going to be remembered in two ways. For those people who don't really know Sherman's legacy, probably would hate him because of his scorched earth policy, whether it's south or north. But war can be brutal and vicious, and Sherman understood it, and he wanted the war to end, and that was the way he helped win the war by what he did. But those who really truly understand Sherman have got to admire him.
Wynn says LSU still has many of Sherman's books that he gave to the school in the fall of 1869, which are considered treasures today. And we're back to wrap things up in Rapides Parish after this. Stay with us.